guys, today I'm going to film for you a video that's been so highly requested for the last few months, and it's kind of a teenage makeup starter kit. I did a makeup starter kit a while ago and lots of people said, would you do one for kind of younger people or people just starting out who don't have a huge budget and maybe don't need everything all at once. And I did kind of encompass that the first time around, but I do realise that I made it kind of more for the kind of older girl, I suppose, whereas teenagers don't necessarily need super high coverage and lots of colour, you just kind of need the basics. So I have lots of options, and I'm also going to be talking about some MUA products in here because I know that's another big request that I get. So yeah, let's just get on with it. The first thing that I want to talk about is base, and what I have here are the two Garnier BB Creams, both the regular and the oil-free. I know since the oil-free one was launched, they've actually brought out quite a few different ones like anti-aging and all these different things, but these are the two that I have and I would recommend either of them. I know that when I first reviewed this I said that it made me break out, but I actually have had really good results with this since then. I don't think I can use it all the time because it has got a high level of alcohol in it. Even when you put it on your face you can smell how much alcohol is in the product. It smells almost like nail polish remover, which is not massively appealing, but it does stay matte and the coverage is much better than this one. This one is the regular BB cream and it's basically just like a tinted moisturiser, but it does blur out imperfections, and if you haven't got an awful lot to cover, this is perfect. And particularly if you've got normal to dry skin. Even when I was pregnant, my skin wasn't quite so oily. It was still oily and I could still get shiny. I was wearing this all the time and I absolutely loved it. I think this is my third tube of it. But when my skin got a little bit more oily, I went to this, and sometimes I'll mix them both together. So this just kind of represents BB cream slash tinted moisturisers, because I don't think that kind of teenage girls, I know that you'll get pimples and blemishes and things, but I don't even think that teenage girls need like a full face of heavy coverage makeup. Next, concealers. I have two that do similar things, but they are very different consistencies. And again, for the same reason that I wanted to mention the regular and the oil-free, I wanted to give you two options here as well. One that is talked about a lot on YouTube is the Lasting Perfection Concealer by now what's called Collection. And I do recommend this, but it is a little bit dry, and I find that it does settle into little lines under my eyes. Which of course you're not going to have a massive problem with that if you are a teenager and you've got no fine lines, but everyone has little creases and things and dry patches maybe that it could fall into and settle, and you don't want that. So this is not the 100% perfect concealer. It's very, very good from the drugstore, and even from higher end ones that I've tried, this is one of my favourites. But one that I've recently come across is this e.l.f. Cover Over Everything, I think it's called, or Cover Everything. I can't see because the writing's smudged off. But this is a lot like Boing from Benefit, which I used to use a long time ago. I used to repurchase and repurchase, was my absolute favourite. It's very creamy, and this is much better at covering kind of blemishes and breakouts that you might have. So I would use this under my eyes even though it's a tad dry, and I would use this on my blemishes. But again, if you've got oilier skin in the areas that you're applying it, this is better, and if you've got drier skin, this is better. So just kind of two options there as well that are very, very good value for money. The last product I want to mention when we're talking about base is a powder. Now this is not going to be necessary for everyone, but for me, I absolutely need a powder to set my makeup and to keep me shine free. And this is the best one that I've ever used. And I've tried the Rimmel Stay Matte. Everyone always asks me when I talk about this, but this used to be called Shine Away or something, and now it's called Miracle Matte Press Powder. From 17, and I would definitely recommend that you try this. I think it's like $2 or $3.99. A very, very good product for the price, and it's the best at keeping me shine free throughout the day. I also really like that it's got a mirror in the compact, so it's really good from the go. The colour cosmetics that I have for kind of face and cheeks, I have the MUA Mosaic Blush, which is from the professional range. What I really like about this is that it's a double duty product. So although it does give you a little bit of colour, and only a little because you don't want to go overboard, and when you are starting out with makeup you may be a little heavy handed, you don't want to end up looking like a Russian doll. So this is very, very sheer, but it's also got a sheen to it, so it also highlights at the same time. That's what I particularly like about these kind of products. Most of my blushes have got, I don't like glitter particles, but a sheen to them, so I don't have to wear a highlight on top. And the other blush that I wanted to show you was kind of, it is a blush. I want to talk about these for blush purposes, but it also is just for the sake of the palette being a really good deal in Superdrug. And these are the Fashionista palettes. And the things that I really like from Fashionista are the blushes. And I've got like 4 of these palettes completely full of blushes, and then I have this one with a couple of eyeshadows in it as well. This is a bronzer, this is a bronzer, that is an eyeshadow and that is a blush, and I really like that you can put them all together. So if you only had, I think it's £12 to fill one of these palettes. If you only had £12, you could get a couple of eyeshadows, a blush and a bronzer, and that is a really good deal. And the blushes from here are fantastic. And again, that was Fashionista, and I think they're called custom blush palettes or custom whatever palettes. But I will link everything below. And my favourite blush ever is New York from Fashionista, and you can buy them individually in little pots, and then you can put them into palettes as and when you feel like it, and I think they're £4 each. But I really like that you can actually make kind of a quad of products just to kind of be starting out with. And the last thing that I want to mention for colour cheek products is this e.l.f. bronzer. This is, what is this called? Matte bronze, and it's from the original line, so I think it's only £1.50 and or £1.50, and it's completely matte, no shimmer whatsoever. It doesn't go kind of an orange colour on me, and I'm particularly pale, so I think I'm a good judge for bronzers. I think it's just a really, really natural colour. It's a lot like the Bourjois, but a lot cheaper. Moving into eyes, eyeshadow is a really tough one from the drugstore because I do tend to use my Urban Decay. I have some MAC, I don't use it very often, some Inglot, various different kind of higher end or mid-range, what I would consider to be mid-range blushes, eyeshadows, but I do gravitate toward my Urban Decay. I also have lots of drugstore, but I don't use them very often because for the most part they're not very good quality. But MUA blushes, why do I keep saying blushes? MUA eyeshadows are very, very good. MUA blushes are okay as well, but they're not my favourite. Yeah, this particular palette is the Undressed Palette, which is their Urban Decay dupe for the Naked palette. And it's very, very nice. The only thing that the only qualm I have with it is that their single eyeshadows, in my opinion, are much nicer quality than their little palettes. I think that you do sacrifice a little bit of pigmentation for the fact that you are getting so many more colours and it is a palette. So it depends on what you're looking for. I personally would rather they bring all of these out in single kind of form for £1, and then you can choose to buy this for £4 if you want to. But I think the bigger pans are nicer quality. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's in my mind, but the ones that I've tried that are single pans for £1 are nicer. But this is a very nice shade selection, and it is very good quality if you've got a primer underneath it. Now, talking of primer briefly, I haven't tried a good drugstore primer, so I'm not going to mention that at all. However, I have found that using the Lasting Perfection concealer on my eyelids prior to applying my eyeshadow does kind of work as a primer. It doesn't crease too badly. Even though it does kind of fall into my kind of lines as a concealer, it seems to be a good base for eyeshadow. So in a pinch, you could use that. Continuing with eyes, I have one fantastic eyeliner here, and it's the Scandaleyes Waterproof Kohl Kajal from Rimmel. And I have it in black, I have it in taupe, I have it in nude, and I think I have it in bronze. I can't remember if I bought that one yet, but this is amazing. This is equally as good as the Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliners. I would repurchase this over the £13 Urban Decay equivalent any day. Really recommend that. What I fill my eyebrows in right now with is the Rimmel eyebrow pencil in Hazel. They do several different colours of this, and someone's told me they do a blonde, but I'm not 100% sure. This is shade 2, which leads me to believe that there is a shade lighter than this, but I've never seen it. So let me know if you have, but they do a good range of a good range of shades in these pencils, and I find them really, really nice for doing my eyebrows. And two mascaras I want to mention, the NYC Volumizing Mascara, which is the Showtime one. I've talked about this before, the best one you can buy from the drugstore in my opinion. And the second mascara is the e.l.f. 3-in-1 Mascara, Lengthen, Define and Volumize. Now, the reason I say the other one is the best is because you can't buy this in the drugstore, you have to buy it online. And I tried not to talk about too many e.l.f. things, purely because I know that some of you, for one thing, may not have a card to purchase things online if you're a teenager, and for another, may not feel comfortable purchasing things online. So I didn't want to talk too much about it, but this is the best mascara I have tried for the money. I think it's like $3.99, and I've been using this more than my L'Oreal that I love, and it's got that weird bristly brush on the end so you can get all of the kind of corner lashes. So good. I did a blog post on this that I'll try to remember to link below, but if you can get an order in to e.l.f., absolutely put this on your list because I love this. Lastly, I have two lip products to talk about. One is slightly more expensive than the other, and it's the L'Oreal Caresse in, what is it called? Sweet Berry. That's actually what I have on my lips today. I really love these. They are super moisturising. They feel like a lip balm, but they have got some colour. Some have more colour than others, and I just think if you are a teenager, which is kind of what this is aimed at, if you are a teenager and you just want a sweep of colour, you don't want too much kind of in your face, you still want to look natural, maybe it's for school, maybe you're not supposed to wear very much makeup, then a little bit of this will just give you a little bit of a glossy lip, and it'll also give you a little bit of colour, but it's very, very natural looking and very moisturising. I love these. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the Intense Kisses High Intensity Gloss by MUA, and the shade that I have is Sealed with a Kiss. This reminds me of the Gosh lip glosses that I used to have with the light on the end. I have them, but you can't buy them anymore. But it's very opaque, it smells amazing. It smells like vanilla, it smells so good. And I really, really like these. I will be buying these in more shades soon because I'm so impressed with them for the money. Again, I think this is from the Professional range, but I would definitely recommend these. And they are very cost effective, again, both of them, but this is a little bit more expensive. So if you haven't got the budget for that, I would go for kind of a lip balm, a tinted lip balm, just a regular tinted lip balm from the drugstore will do just as well. Just this is just a little bit nicer, and it feels nice and it feels expensive. I think it feels more expensive than it is with the packaging. I'm not going to talk about brushes in the video today because I'm actually planning on trialling some budget style brushes because I haven't got that many of them. I don't really consider the Samantha Chapman brushes to be super budget because the collections are like £25 and individual brushes can run like £10. So I don't think that's particularly cheap. I really love them. I love my Sigma brushes. I have some Scandaleyes that are very nice. But the problem is because I have those brushes, I have no need to go out and buy more. So I do intend to try some more because that's another really highly requested video, brushes from the drugstore that are really good. So I was going to do my essential brushes. I mentioned it on Twitter and everyone was saying, oh yeah, I really want to know kind of ones that you can buy from the drugstore. I thought, none of them are in there because I don't have any. So look out for a video on that relatively soon when I have something together for that. But I hope that the rest of this video was useful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and any other video requests as well. And don't forget to check out all the links in the down bar because I will list everything that I've mentioned in this video.